started bringing work to the extent that he was able to build a house and rent it because he obeyed. And he did it with his own heart. Don't do anything with grudges. Don't do it as to say that, let me just manage. Do it freely. Because God sees what's up. It's God that opens the door. No enemy can close it. If an enemy will close the one's door, it's not from a child of God who have obeyed God. So he obeyed and blessing followed. This woman obeyed the man of God. And the man of God stayed there. And during the time of famine, they were eating and they had enough food. One thing you know is that when something wants to happen, there is a way God will use in protecting his people. God had a way of what? Saving his own children. God has a way of opening a new door and ushering his own children in. You may not understand what God is doing, but our answer is to obey and follow him. He has a plan for everybody. Whether you are suffering, whether you are not suffering, God has a plan for you. Whether things are going well or not going, God has a plan. One thing you know that God has a plan, and he will not cease until you see that he manifests that which are planned for you. His way that we not tell God that we don't want him to manifest his will in our life. We don't want him to carry out his plan when we are not following him. As far as you are following God, you'll be planning. What is he going to do? What is he going to do? This is what I'm going to do for my son, my daughter, to have his way, to be blessed, to live the way I want him to live, to be comfortable. God has a plan for everybody because he's the one that created you. Nobody will say that God, that I'm not in the book of God. No. God is looking at you as an individual, as a person, not as a group. You, small in mind, God knows you are small in mind. God will look at you as a small boy and will be blessing you because he has a plan for you. And be planning for you what you are going to be in future, what is his desire concerning you. It's just like our children. When we have our children, we'll be planning. What am I going to do for this boy? What am I going to do? Or watch him. Do you need any book? Do you need anything? The type of food he's eating. Let me buy another food. Let him eat fine. You'll be planning for this child. Which is the best school for him? Is he doing well? You go to the school and look. Is this boy doing well? Is he following bad gang? How is he behaving? You will watch it. How is he doing? Is he doing his assignment? You will always watching at this person, with your child, and make sure that the person is doing the right thing. That is the way God will be looking at us. God will be watching us. God will be caring for us. Even if you don't have anything today, keep on believing God. He has a plan for you. Time will come. That his plan and purpose will manifest in your life in Jesus' name. Yeah. Let us look at another person that God blessed because of his giving in 2 Kings chapter 4, 8 to 17. 2 Kings chapter 4, 8 to 17 says, now it happened on the day that Elisha went to Shunem, where there was a notable woman, and she persuaded him to eat some food. So it was, as often as he passed by, he would turn in there to eat some food. And she said to her husband, look now, I know that this is a holy man of God who passed by us regularly. Please let us make a small upper room on the wall, and let us put a bed for him there, and a table and a chair, and the lampstand. So it will be, whenever he comes to us, he can turn it there. And it happened one day that he came there, and he turned to the upper room and lay down there. Then he said to Gehazi, his servant, call this Shunammite woman. When he called her, she said before him. And he said to him, say now to her, look, you have been concerned for us with all this care. What can I do for you? Do you want me to speak on your behalf to the king or to the commander of the army? She answered, I dwell well on my own people. So he said, what then is it be done for you? And Gehazi answered, actually, she had no son, and her husband is old. So he called he said, call her. When he called her, she stood in the doorway and then said, about this next year you shall embrace a son. And she said, no, my Lord, man of God, do not lie to your maid servant. But the woman conceived and bore a son when the appointed time has come, of which Elisha had told her. You can see this woman, what brought her blessing. You know, some people think that everything is praying, fasting, praying and fasting. This woman has been looking for a son for a child for many years. But time came that it was not the thing that was troubling her any longer. She wasn't disturbed. The husband is now an old man. Maybe herself now, she's old as well. So she's not that problem is no longer a problem to her again. What did she do? A man of God came. She was moved to take care of this man of God. You know, sometimes we women will complain a lot. This person is always eating. This one, the food is going down. And the way we are spending much, a man does not care. But you can see that it's a woman that was caring. She's the one saying, let us do. She was in forefront. Let us do this one for this man. Let us do this one. I perceive that this man, you know, women are more sensitive than men. Women are more sensitive. You look at the man, you discover this man is not an ordinary man. That each time this man will pass here, each time after passing, he will go back. The woman look at this man and say, my husband, let us make small room for him. The woman was the one persuading the husband. The woman was the one asking the husband, let us do this. And as she was telling the husband, let us do this, the husband hearkened to her, and they were all in agreement, and they started doing it. When they finished, the man of God began to think, what am I going to do? You know, there are sometimes you do something to somebody. You know, I begin to think, what am I going to do for this person? You say, God, what am I going to do? You now begin to ask God to tell you the thing that when you do it for that person, the person will be shocked. The person will be highly blessed. The person will not even think that you go to that area. It just a few days ago, last week, two people visited me in a special way. One gave me money, 500 naira. Another person gave me money in my hand. When I opened it, they gave it to me in the dark, and I didn't even look at it. It was better. When I opened the second one or the first one, I saw 20 pounds. I said, 20 pounds. 20 pounds. See, that 20 pounds. I was thinking that is 1,000, but I saw 20 pounds, which is a big money. And I begin to think, what am I going to pray for this person? What type of prayer? What type of thing am I going to ask God to do for this woman that handed me 20 pounds? Say, take. Other one that gave 500, I will pray as well. But the one of 20 pounds was the one that disturbing me. Each time I want to pray, I will be thinking, well, God, what am I going to tell God to do to this person who just gave me 20 pounds? So what am I saying? This man, after the woman has so blessed him, and now he is comfortable. The man and God is now comfortable. No longer trekking distance. He can stay at a place. He will pray and do whatever he wants to do. He now begin to think, what am I going to do to this person? What am I going to do to this man? He now look around. He discovered that this house, that since he has been coming here, that I have not seen